Well, so much for the weekend off. All I wanted to do was just plant some seeds and make some potions. But alas, I had to deal with so much more. See for yourself.
So we're gonna do the feud quest.
I need a new hobby. RuneScape is known for being one of the grindiest games of all time, and this becomes particularly true when playing as an Iron Man, a game mode in which you have to get everything yourself with no help from other players. No trading, no shared loot, zip, you stand alone. And while there's other modes such as groups and hardcore, there's one mode that stands out among the rest, the Ultimate Iron Man, which is an Iron Man who cannot use a bank. And because it takes so long to make progress, it makes sense that most follow strict guides and traditional methods to reduce the pain. Well, that's not me. No, we're after the new guys such as Scurious, the Moon's Peril, Phantom Muspa, Mox a Little, and that's just PVM. We'll also explore newer skilling methods regardless of their efficiency and avoid the typical as much as possible. That means no blackjacking, no winter taught, etc. So come along this journey with me as I dive in and embrace the life of no bank, no help, just pain. Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be working towards 34 farming and as close to 38 Herblore as we can, primarily through the use of quests. So we're going to be starting with the fishing contest as it's a prerequisite for another one. So those are going to be the first two objectives, and the third one, well, you'll just have to wait and see. We're going to need a piece of garlic from Morgan's house for the fishing contest quest, but interestingly enough, I don't think we've done the Vampire Slayer quest either. Nope, we have not actually. It's a pretty simple quest, and yeah, with these stats, I think we could take him. So let's go ahead and knock her out then. All right, let's get some information and the steak in exchange for some beers. Bloop. Oh man, I always forget these ones. You have to click each and every step. It doesn't do it for you automatically. All right, buddy. Sleepy time is over. Come on out. Smack up with the stick. Rawr. All right, Vampire Slayer is done. It took like 10 minutes. Hey, look, an attack level. All right, back to fishing contest. Time for a little day walk. Just kidding, we got work to do. Gotta get ourselves a fishing rod from Port Sarim. Going to get a spade as well. The one that always eludes me is the red vine worm. I always forget. Guess we should just walk. Aw, man. I just noticed that there's a fairy ring in there. That would have been so much faster. Damn. Ow. Bad dog. All right, got ourselves the red vine worm. Let's get out of here. You know, it just dawned on me that I'm going to the actual fishing contest. I haven't started the quest yet, so I have to actually spin around and go talk to him first. All right, there we go. Go and steal this man's spot real quick. Don't like garlic? Sorry, bye. All right, cool. We got ourselves a fishing trophy, and now we can finish her up. Cha-ching! Got it all done. Fishing level's now level 29. We haven't done jack, which is awesome. All right, now we're gonna finish the giant dwarf quest. And in order to do that, we're gonna need a plethora of items to include a red berry pie. Easiest way to make that is going to be going to Yanel, because they have a shop there that actually sells the pie dishes. And so to get there, we're just gonna use the fairy ring. But before we do that, we're gonna pay a visit to our home and get our graceful outfit back, because running out of energy sucks. And with our house being in Hosidius, we are going to need to pay a visit there first. But since we're running out of law runes, I don't want to use them up for this. So the quickest way to get there is going to be using the Dwarven Cart mine system over by the Tithe farm. But since we can't use that right away, the easiest way to get there is going to be using the fairy ring by the farming guild in Mount Carolum, however you pronounce that. Because there is a Dwarven Cart mine system just west of that. So yeah, we can just use the fairy ring, go over there, use the minecart system, and go right over to Hosidius and get our graceful back. So it shouldn't take long at all. See, go here, Hosidius south, now we transfer over, and then now we get to go home. Yay! Time to suit up, boys. Alright, now we can get the ingredients for the red berry pie outside of the red berries, which we need to get from Varrock, which that part's easy, no worries. I always forget which one to use, man. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, thank goodness. And of course we need money. Hey, look at him. It's like he knew we were coming. He's like, all right, man, you've been here too many times. I'll just open my pockets. There you go. Be done with it. All right, so we're going to need the bars, so we're going to need to just use the blast furnace. It'll be easiest. No, 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 no. I meant to make an iron bar, but I had coal in my inventory. Oh my god, what a rookie mistake. That's so embarrassing. Alright, let's go ahead and begin this. Hey, look at that. We can actually buy the sapphires here. That'll be good to know. We're going to need that third one, though, so I'll have to come back for it later. Oh no, this is where you got to get 1,000 random things. This is going to suck. Hey, we got to go to Mudskipper Point so we get to pay our buddy Thurgo a visit with our fairy ring. What's up, my man? Alrighty, here we go. Go back and forth. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you that, though. It took way too long. Alright, Giant Dwarf Quest is done, and holy cow for those rewards, though. Oh, man, 27 mining, 31 smithing, a bunch of things that we can use, 34 crafting. Hey, Ruby's out could be handy. 31 fire making. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Cool part about this, though, is we can just start Forgettable Tale, which is the next one on the list, and it's right from the same guy. Well, this one sucks, though, because it's the one with all those puzzles and the waiting games. So, not looking forward to that. As I said, we are sitting here waiting. Ugh. Hey, look at that. It didn't take long at all. I just logged out. Don't tell Mom. All right, got to plant ourselves some barley. Put the ale in here. And then now we get to wait yet again. Alright, there we go. Another one done. Moving on. Ugh, this is the part that I wasn't looking for. You just gotta do one puzzle, treat ourselves to a lovely minecart ride, and then solve yet a bigger puzzle, and then solve yet another one. Best part is we get to be drunk and then tell everybody about our story then. Alright, Forgettable Tale is now done, which gives us 5,000 farming experience and cooking, but I really only care about the farming. Woo, level 33. We only need one more for the tithe farm, but now we can plant our Ranar seeds, which is awesome. Hey, look, 27 cooking too. For that last level, I think the easiest way is going to be traditional farming rather than questing. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So we're going to try to look at getting some seeds from the master farmer here, but something tells me that he's not in the best of moods because he just keeps hitting me. It's like he doesn't want people in his pockets. Maybe we should come back later. All right, that super combo is going to come in clutch because now we can actually use them for our crops here. All right, there we go. First seed going in. Cha-ching. All right, there's great news and bad news. The bad news is our Limpwort died, but the great news is the Ranar lived. Oh yeah, first picking of Ranars. All right, time to clean. Wait, we can't clean them? What level do you need? Ah, we don't even have the Herblore level to clean them. I guess they're going in grimy. Oh yeah, look at that. 34 farming by our first Ranar patch. How poetic. Now we can do the tithe farm too, so farming should be pretty easy from here on out. Alright, honestly, I'm quite sick of running around rather than teleporting already, because we only have one law rune left, but I don't want to go into the wilderness for the major arena. So we're going to do the feud quest, because then we can do the rogue trader mini quest afterwards, and then Ali Morrisane will be able to sell us law runes, so yeah. But first we need to free up some space here, drop the unnecessary items, and do a little organization. Doop 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 doop. Gotta go back here for yet some more money. And since we got some house keys, we might as well knock those out first before we go anywhere. Well, that was a waste of a key. Was in here for literally like 10 seconds. Whoops. Alright, now that we got all the house keys done, we got a good chunk of change, at least for the time being. Got rid of the unnecessary items. We are going to keep the sapphire necklace, though, for a games necklace later on. And now we can also make our way back to the Tiamat to use these blessed bone shards. Per experience is always nice, right? Alright, there we go. Used up. Moving on. Alright, do I want to use the Chaos Rune patch? They're quite expensive. I don't know if I'm going to need 100, so I think, look at that, 90 coins. Yeah, I'm thinking we're just going to need about 50, so we're just going to do that because I don't want to use all the cash stack just yet. So, yeah. Alright, starting the feud. You know, I've never been a big fan of the desert, or sand in general. It's coarse, it's rough, and it just gets everywhere. I'm a little bit confused, because I already gave him all 3 beers, and yet he's still here. Oh, you gotta talk to him in between. I guess reading is fundamental. Alright, this does not count as far as not doing blackjacking. I absolutely love this interaction. The character's like, hello, hag, and she's like, hello, blockhead. Alright, first fight, here we go. Man, magic doesn't do jack to these guys. It's taking way too long here. Alright, yeah, that took a while, honestly. All right, fight number 2. Let's go. Hopefully it's easier. Oh my gosh, that's so much easier. Still waiting to see who caught the movie reference on the last carpet ride. If you did, comment down below. All right, the feud is now officially done. So now we just get to do the mini quest Rogue Trader, which will give us access to the runes. To do that, we now talk to Ali, and then he sent us to talk to Aubrey in Verrock. And then afterwards, he sent us back to do this little puzzle. But quick reminder, don't be like me and assume that it's just the one number, then you're done. You have to click on each individual number and solve the puzzle as you go through. Otherwise, you're going to be like me and feel real dumb. Hey, look at that. We got all the runes, so now we can avoid the major arena specifically for the runes. We'll have to go there at some point. Figured we'd knock out the clue scroll that we got from stealing valuables first before we do anything else, even though that we can't really store anything, so eventually we're going to need to do that as we start getting better items, but can't hurt to see. Oh, look, we got the studded chaps G. Oh, that's going to be so nice. Okay, my excitement earlier, I had read and heard green chaps instead of studded, so it was a little misplaced, but oh well, looks cool. Alrighty, now we're going to be doing the dig site, which is kind of annoying, but it gives you a ton of mining experience, and what we're looking for is actually a decent amount of Herblore experience, so we're going to go ahead and work on that one. I always forget where to find the opals as well as the charcoal, so I always have to look it up. But thankfully, the charcoal can just be bought at the Taiwan, or well, I guess the Karamja general store, and thankfully we have the fair ring, so we don't have to walk for it. All right, let's go ahead and check out this guy's inventory. All right, cool. Yep, they do have charcoal. Cool. Damn, this dude actually has a ton of stuff here. Pretty nice. All right, the dig site is officially started. So now we get to do the back and forth between Verrock and the dig site. I think that's the biggest gripe that people have with this. They just go back and forth, and eventually you run out of run energy, even with Graceful. Next, we get to do a little fishing panning in order to get the special cup. Hey, look at that. It was actually like the third or fourth one. Nice. Although we still got to be here for a little bit in order to get the opal. Sometimes being an Iron Man sucks. Aw, man. False advertising. I always get excited whenever I see an item pop up thinking it's what we need. And it turns out it's not. Hey, look at that. We got the uncut opal. Alright, cool. Next. Moving on. This part was particularly brutal because the typical accounts you can just bank what you don't need to make room, but I can't, so that sucks. Alright, going for the big kaboom to finish up the dig site, thankfully. Alrighty, we are now done. We got 2,000 Herblore experience, and I really don't even care about the 15,000 mining experience. Cool, we got 36 mining, but that is what we care about. The 21 Herblore, cool, and now we get to move on and getting closer to 38. I really want to free up some inventory space, notably those steel bars that we weren't supposed to have. So we're going to try and knock out some mahogany homes in hopes that they actually use them up. Now we got a few items that we can actually store in this looting bag too. So I'm going to put in notably these ranars. I mean, it's a noted item, might as well. And then probably the studded chaps because I know you could store them in the house, but we don't have the level yet. So do I want to? Yeah, we'll go ahead and put them in there. Why not? All right, go ahead and do the usual. All right, make them into planks. Let's go. All right, there's one. We only need 3 more. All right, there's 2. Come on, we only need 2 more. Yeah, well, 43 construction. Awesome. Not what we came for, but I'll take it. Of course, we need more money, but thankfully this man's pockets was open yet again. Dude, there's no way I can leave being that close to a level, so we're actually just going to try and pickpocket them standard. And because we only need 4. Oh, come on, man. Really? Come on. Dude, really? Come on. Just need 1 more. 1 more, buddy. Come on. Let's go. You know you want to. Hey, there we go. 65 thieving. Good solid number in this case. Oh, hey, we can knock out the Sorceress's Garden in the summer. I forgot about that. Ironically enough, we did the manual ones only to do this one because I figured that we're actually going to need a little bit more money. So here we are yet again. All right, we got a few house keys, so now that we picked up our money, we can now move on. All right, you want to see a little trick that I haven't done in a long time? You ready for it? All right, you've seen it before. Ready? Aha, see? Quick and easy. Now we got to get some more planks. Dude, that one didn't use any bars. Damn, come on. On our way back to get more planks, I figure we should just get a bow and arrow, just so that way we can get rid of that 15 range experience that's been there forever. So we're gonna just kill a man or woman. One more shot. There we go. Finally, 29 range. Cool. Don't have to worry about that now. Dude, these ones aren't using any bars, but we are getting the levels, so should I complain? Come on, man. Alright, this is gonna be my last one because they're not using any of the bars. It's getting annoying. No cigar, so we're just gonna admit defeat for these last two because I just don't want to do it. We almost got the 45 constructions. That's cool, but still. Alright, so next we're going to be knocking out the Temple of the Eye quest, just because it's going to give us a fair amount of levels that we need. And so we just need to get some items, travel around, and it essentially teaches you how to do the Guardians of the Rift minigame, which is actually pretty fun. We're going to be needing to do that real soon. But in the meantime, we're just going to do the little tutorial and get the levels. You know, teach you how to get some crafting. Gives you a fair amount of runecraft experience while you're at it. It beats the old school way. No pun intended. Dude, look at this. One away. Oh, that's bad. All right, once you've charged him up enough, the big guy seals off the thing for about 10 seconds and then you restart. All right, Temple of the Eye is now done and it gave us 5,000 runecrafting experience. So that should put us at level 27. Yes, it does. Perfect. Which means we now have hit the third mystery objective. Any idea what that might be? Here's a little tip. Look into my levels here. That is right. We now have the level to get the rune pouch from Last Man Standing. Although, I'm not going to lie, that's going to suck because I am just terrible at PvP. So, not looking forward to that at all. But the rune pouch is invaluable, especially as an ultimate. So, we're going to have to go ahead and knock that out. As I said, I just wanted it to be simple and easy. But now I have to fight. So I guess I'll see you all on the battlefield. Ugh.